Hello, Jay here. Welcome to Intermediate Guitar Chapter 22. Okay, we're going to keep talking about our major 7 chords and our minor 7 chords. Today we're going to target the keys of B major and G sharp minor, and I want to point out that these keys relate to each other as G sharp is the relative minor to B major and vice versa. Okay, let's go ahead and start off with some B major 7 chords. 6-string shape. I'm going to have my index finger on the 7th fret 6th string, skipping the 5th string. Go to ring finger on the 8th fret 4th string, pinkies on the 8th fret 3rd string, and then middles on the 7th fret 2nd string, and then you can mute your 5th string, and then just cut it off, or mute your 1st string. Based off of the 5th string, I have my index finger on the 2nd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 4th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 3rd fret 2nd string, pinkies on the 4th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 2nd fret on the 1st string with my index, making contact and muting the low 6th string. This is going to be a full bar chord where we can just strum all of our strings, and I'm going to have my index finger again on the 7th fret 6th string, pinky gets the 9th fret 5th string, middle fingers on the 8th fret 4th string, ring fingers on the 8th fret 3rd string, and then barring to get the 7th frets on the first 2 strings with my index. Okay, the next one's the D string shape. I've got my index finger on the 9th fret 4th string, and then barring to get the 11th frets on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string with my ring finger, and then avoiding the low 2 strings. Okay, for G sharp minor 7, first one's going to be the E string shape. I've got my index finger on the 4th fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 6th fret 5th string, and then barring to get the 4th frets on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string with my index. You can also use your middle finger to overlap and help some pressure. Okay, the next one is going to be the D string minor 7 shape. I've got my index finger on the 6th fret 4th string, pinkies on the 8th fret 3rd string, middle fingers on the 7th fret 2nd string, and ring fingers on the 7th fret 1st string, avoiding the 2 low strings. Okay, the next one's going to be another way to play with our root on the 6th string. I've got my middle finger on the 4th fret 6th string. I'm going to skip the 5th string, ring finger bars and gets the 4th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and then just mute or cut it off on the 1st string. Okay, the next one's going to be the A string shape. I've got my index finger on the 11th fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 13th fret 4th string, barring to get the 11th fret on the 3rd string with my index, middle's got the 12th fret on the 2nd string, and then getting my index for the 11th fret on the 1st string with my bar. Make some contact and mute your low 6th string. This chapter's strum pattern is going to feature some 8th notes and 16th notes. Your down strum will be marked with a box without a bottom, and your up strum will be marked with an arrow pointing down. Okay, now for the first 2 beats, we'll have 8th notes, so you could just do 2 down strums. On beat 3 and 4, we'll do 16th notes, and I'm going to recommend a down, up for your 16th notes. Now on beat 3, we're going to have a tied note, the last 16th note, the of beat 3 will be tied to the downbeat of beat 4. So keep your strumming pattern going, and just on beat 3, down, up, let that note linger. Just miss your down strum on beat 4, keep your strumming, and then resume your notes on the E and for beat 4, and that'll be an up, down, up. Okay, now here's the pattern without a chord. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just be playing each of these one time, but I recommend repeat all of these 8 to 12 times and check out your different tempos, slow, medium, and fast. Okay, go ahead and grab your B major 7, and we're going to do number 1. That's going to be 4 bars with our pattern. Now your B major 7 is pretty accessible both on your low 6th string and also on the 5th string. I'm going to be doing the 6th string here, but you can also feel free to mix it up as you go through these patterns. Okay, here comes number 1. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and Okay, I recommend using a metronome. I'm going to have my metronome on 60 beats a minute, and here comes number 1 with the click. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, for number 2, we're going to do a G sharp minor 7 for 4 bars with our pattern. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, here comes number 3. We're going to go 4 bars of B major 7 into 4 bars of G sharp minor 7. Here comes number 3. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, for number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of B major 7 into 2 bars of G sharp minor 7. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Here's number 4 a little faster. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, for number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of B major 7 into 1 bar of G sharp minor 7, and then repeat that again for bars 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, for the next numbers, we're going to incorporate some chords from previous chapters and some rhythms that we've talked about. For number 6, we're going to start off with a B major 7. We'll have a half note for the first 2 beats, and then we'll resume our pattern on beats 3 and 4. Bar 2 is normal pattern. We're going to switch to a C major 7 on bar 3. We'll have normal pattern, but a half note for beats 3 and 4. And that's a chord lasting for 2 beats. And then we'll have normal pattern on bar 4. Okay, now for my C major 7, I'm just going to do the same shape as my B major 7, but up a half step. So now I've got my index finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 5th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 4th fret 3rd string, pinkies on the 5th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get my 3rd fret 1st string with my index. Make some contact and mute your low 6th string. Okay, here comes number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Okay, for number 7, we're going to start off with the G sharp minor 7. We'll have normal pattern for bar 1, and then normal pattern just for the first 2 beats of bar 2, but we'll have a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. We won't play anything. We're going to switch it to an F sharp minor 7 chord on bar 3. We'll have a half note rest for the first 2 beats, and then we'll resume our pattern on beats 3 and 4, and then we'll have normal pattern on bar 4. Okay, for F sharp minor 7, I'm just going to do the same shape, but back it to my 2nd fret. So I've got my index finger on the 2nd fret on the 6th string, ring finger's got the 4th fret on the 5th string, and then barring to get my 2nd frets on the first 4 strings with my index. Okay, here comes number 7. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a. Rest, 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 rest. Okay, we're going to have an 8-bar progression for number 8. We're going to start off with B major 7 for the first 2 bars, normal pattern. We're going to switch it to an E major 7 on bar 3, normal pattern, but with a quarter note rest on beat 2. On bar 4, we'll have normal pattern with a quarter note rest on beat 1. Switch it to a C sharp minor 7 on bar 5, normal pattern. On bar 6 we have normal pattern but with the quarter note rest on beat 1. And then we'll just take it to F sharp major on bar 7, normal pattern with the quarter note rest on beat 2, and then normal pattern on bar 4. Okay, for your E major 7, I'm going to be doing my bar chord off the 5th string. So I've got my index finger on the 7th fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 9th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 8th fret 3rd string, pinkies on the 9th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get my 7th fret on the 1st string with my index, and you can have your open E string if you like. For C sharp minor 7, I'm going to have my minor 7 chord off the 5th string, so I've got my index finger on the 4th fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 6th fret 4th string, barring to get the 4th fret on the 3rd string with my index, middle fingers got the 5th fret 2nd string, and then barring to get the 4th fret on the 1st string with my index and making some contact, and mute your low 6th string. For F sharp major, I'm just doing my major bar chord off of the low 6th string. I've got my index finger on the 2nd fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 4th fret 5th string, pinkies on the 4th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 3rd fret 3rd string, and then barring to get the 2nd frets on the first 2 strings with my index. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for the last one, number 9, we're going to start off with a G sharp minor 7. We're going to have a dotted half note. That chord's going to last for the first 3 beats, and then we'll have a quarter note rest on beat 4, normal pattern on bar 2. Switch it to an A major 7 on bar 3 with normal pattern, and then on bar 4, again, we'll have a dotted half note lasting for 3 beats to a quarter note rest on the last beat. For A major 7, I'm doing my 6th string major 7 shape. I've got my index finger on the 5th fret 6th string, skipping the 5th string, ring fingers on the 6th fret 4th string, pinkies on the 6th fret 3rd string, middle fingers on the 5th fret 2nd string, muting my 5th string, and then you can just cut it off on the 2nd string. Okay, here comes number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. Here's number 9 a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. For this chapter scales, we're going to talk about B Lydian and G sharp Dorian. Okay, Lydian's a great choice over major and major 7 chords. It's going to have one note that's different than your major scale. It's going to have a sharp 4 or a sharp 11. Okay, now we're going to target our low 6th string. So starting off, we're going to go 7, 9 on the 6th string. 5th string is going to be a 6, 8, 9. And I just want to point out, our normal 4th would have been on the 7th fret, would have been the note E, but we're sharpening that to be an F natural right there. On your 4th string, we'll go 6, 8, 9. On your 3rd string, just a 6, 8. On the 2nd string, it's going to be a 6, 7, 9. On the 1st string, we'll go 6 to 7. I want to point out that's your 2nd octave B right there, and we'll climb up 2 more notes up to 9 and 11. Okay, coming back down, we're going to go 9, 7, 6. On the 2nd string, we'll go 9, 7, 6. 3rd string is an 8, 6. 4th string is a 9, 8, 6. 5th string is a 9, 8, 6, and then the 6th string is a 9, 7. Okay, I recommend hit the 4 basic rhythms: quarter notes, 8th notes, 8th note triplets, and 16th notes. I'm going to do some quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. Okay, for 8th notes, you can do 2 on each note or 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For 8th note triplets, you can do 3 on each note or 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. For 16th notes, you could do 4 on each note or 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, for number 2, we're going to incorporate our new rhythm, the quintuplet. That's going to be 5 notes on 1 beat. For your quintuplets, you could pick all down or do alternate picking. Just note that it's going to flip your picking on each beat as it's an odd number. I'm going to go ahead and do this with a metronome. This is going to be 1 octave. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I'm going to take that scale up to 2 octaves. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for numbers 3 and 4, we're going to do groups of 5. We're going to play 5 notes, backtrack 4 notes, and then repeat that pattern. Okay, here comes groups of 5, 1 octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's groups of 5 going up the full 2 octaves. 3, 4. Okay, now here's groups of 5 descending 1 octave. 3, 4. Here's groups of 5 descending the full 2 octaves. 3, 4. Okay, for numbers 5 and 6, we're going to do an interval leap of a fifth. So we're going to play a note, jump up a fifth, and then we'll backtrack a fourth, and then repeat that pattern from there. Okay, now here comes fifths. 3, 4. Okay, now here comes descending fifths. 3, 4. Okay, for part 2 of the study, we're going to look at the G-sharp Dorian scale. Okay, Dorian's a really cool scale. It's basically your minor scale, but it has a natural 6, so it sounds really good over minor 7 chords, minor chords too. Check into it. It's got a little extra flavor in there. Okay, now for your G-sharp Dorian scale, I want to point out that we're playing the same notes as our F-sharp major scales because Dorian's built off of the second mode of the major scale. Okay, now our notes are going to be a G-sharp, A-sharp, B, C-sharp, D-sharp, F natural, F sharp, and then back up to a G sharp. Now our frets are going to be 4, 6, 7 on the 6th string, 4 to 6 on the 5th string, 3, 4, 6 on the 4th string, 3, 4, 6 on the 3rd string, 4, 6, 7 on the 2nd string, and then 4, 6, 7 on the 1st string. Okay, now coming back down, we'll go 6 to 4, 7, 6, 4, 2nd string. We'll go 6, 4, 3 on the 3rd string, 6, 4, 3 on the 4th string, 6 to 4 on your 5th string, and then 7, 6, 4 on the 6th string. Okay, now I'm going to bypass the other basic rhythms. We're just going to do quarter notes, but I definitely recommend hit your other rhythms. Okay, here we go, quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 2, we're going to put the quintuplet rhythm on it. Here comes 1 octave. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's quintuplets going for the full 2 octaves. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going to go into groups of 5. Okay, here comes groups of 5. Okay, now here's groups of 5 going up the full 2 octaves. 3, 4. Okay, now here's descending groups of 5, 1 octave. 3, 4. And here's descending groups of 5. 3, 4. Okay, for numbers 5 and 6, we're going to do fifths. Here we go. 3, 4. Here's descending fifths. 3, 4. Okay, and I always recommend to jam on your chords and your scales. I'm going to play some B major 7 and then run some scales, and then I'm going to jam on a G minor 7 and run some scales from there. 3, 4. Some chords. Some scales. Back to some chords. Some more scales. good example of the Lydian sound there. It's got a little different vibe on it than your regular major scale. Okay, now I'm going to jam on a G sharp minor scale and play some G sharp Dorian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to some chords. Some more scales. Okay, for this chapter study, we're going to be doing part 3 of our triad study. For this one, we're going to be doing 4-bar progressions, and you can do quarter notes, half notes, or whole notes on each chord, but we're going to be switching triad chords each bar and targeting triads in a particular position using some different sets of strings too. For all these examples, I'm going to be repeating them one time, but I recommend repeating them a bunch. Definitely get inside of them. Okay, number 1 is going to be targeting the first 3 strings, so I'm going to call them out from the 3rd to the 2nd to the 1st string as far as our frets go. So for the first bar, we're going to do a G major. That's going to be a 4-3-3. I'm using my middle and my index to bar. For bar 2, we're going to go to a 5-5-3, and I'm using my ring, pinky, and index for a C major triad. Switching to a C minor triad, I'm just going to flat the 3rd of this chord, so I'm going to now go to a 5-4-3. Using my middle finger. And then we'll go to a D major triad, and that's going to be a 7-7-5. Same fingers as our C major. Okay, now for number 1, I'm going to do just whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 2, I'm going to stay on the 3 high strings. We're going to start off with an F minor. It's going to be a 1-1-1. I'm just barring with my index. Okay, for a B flat minor, it's going to be a 3-2-1. For a C major, it's going to be an open 1 open. And then for F major, it's going to be a 2-1-1. Okay, for this one, I'm going to do some half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 3, we're going to start off with an E major triad. That's going to be a 4-5-4. I'm doing like a D major shape. I got my index, ring, and middle. For E minor, we're going to switch it to a 4-5-3. Now I'm going middle to ring to index. A major is going to be a 6-5-5. And A minor is going to be a 5-5-5. Okay, for number 3, I'm going to do quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for the next 3 numbers, we're going to be targeting the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. For number 4, I'm going to start off with an A major. That's a 7-6-5. I'm using my ring, middle, and index. Going to go to a B minor, and that's a 9-7-7. I got my ring and barring with my index. Down to a G major, that's a 5-4-3. And then for E major, that's going to be a 6-4-5. And I'm using my ring, index, and middle. Okay, for number 4, I'm going to do whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. For number 5, I'm going to start off with a G minor. That's a 5-3-3. Going to go to a D major. That's a 4-2-3. For D minor, it's a 3-2-3. I'm using my middle, index, and ring. And And then for C minor, it's going to be a 5-5-4, and I'm doing like an A minor shape here with my middle ring and index. Okay, I'm going to do half notes for number 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. For number 6, I'm going to start off with a C major. That's going to be a 5-5-5. I'm just barring with my index. For B major, I'm going to go down to a 3-3-3. F major is a 3-2-1. And G major is again a 5-4-3. Okay, I'm going to do quarter notes for this one. Here comes number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to target our 5th, 4th, and 3rd string for the next 3 numbers. Okay, for number 1, we're going to go to a D major. That's going to be a 5-4-2. I'm using my pinky, ring, and index. For D minor, it's going to switch to a 5-3-2. I'm using my middle finger now for the 4th string. G major is going to be a 5-5-4. I'm doing like an E major shape here with my middle ring and index. And then for an A major, I'm going to just take that same shape up to a 7-7-6. Okay, I'm going to do some whole notes for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. For number 2, going to start off with an A minor. It's going to be a 7-7-5. I'm using my ring, pinky, and index. For E major, it's a 7-6-4. D major, I'm going to go up to a 9-7-7. I'm using my ring and barring with my index. And then a D minor is going to be an 8-7-7. I'm just going to go to my middle finger on the 5th string. That's your D minor. Okay, here comes number 2. I'm going to do some half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 3, you're going to start off with a C major. That's a 10-10-9. Take it down a half step for B major with a 9-9-8. Going to go to an E minor, that's a 7-5-4. And then to an A major, that's going to be a 7-7-6. Okay, I'm going to do some quarter notes. Here comes number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the last 3 numbers, we're going to target our 3 low strings, the 6, 5, and 4. Okay, for number 4, we're going to start off with an A major. That's going to be a 5-4-2. B minor is going to be a 7-5-4. C sharp minor is going to be a 9-7-6. And then D major is going to be a 10-9-7. Okay, here comes number 4. I'm going to do some whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, for number 5, we're going to start off with the G minor. It's going to be a 3-1 open. I'm using my ring and my index. For F major, it's going to be a 5-3-3. And I'm using my ring and then barring with my index. For C minor, it's going to be a 3-3-1. I'm using my ring, pinky, and index. And then for D major, it's a 2 open open. Okay, here comes number 5, and I'm going to do some half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. last one, number 6. Going to start off with an E minor. It's going to be a 7-7-5. E major is going to be a 7-7-6. A major is going to be a 9-7-7. And then A minor is going to be an 8-7-7. Okay, I'm going to do chord notes for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you for chapter 23. Take care.